COVID-19 pandemic. This meeting will be live streamed on the county's Facebook page at Montgomery County, will be available on local public access television, DATV, and will be posted on the county's website at www.mcohio.org per guidelines approved by House Bill 197. Madam Clerk, you want to call the roll?
Commissioner Rice?
Here.
Commissioner Lieberman?
Here.
Commissioner Dodge?
Here. County Engineer.
Good afternoon, Commissioners, Administrator, ladies and gentlemen. We have two items for your approval today. The first is Resolution 20-1210 to authorize an LPA federal project agreement with the Ohio Department of Transportation for a safety study of a section of Miamisburg-Springboro Pike from Medler Road to Benner Road, also known as the Mound Connector, in Miami Township and the city of Miamisburg. And 1211 is to authorize an agreement with Wolpert, Inc. for the Geographic Information System Professional Services Project at a cost not to exceed $25,000 through June 30th of 2022.
I move for approval. I second.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
County Sheriff.
Thank you, Commissioners. Under the County Sheriff, we have Resolution 1212, approve a collective bargaining agreement with the Fraternal Order of Police, Ohio Labor Council. We also have two late items, Resolution 1246, approve a collective bargaining agreement with the Ohio Patrolmen's Benevolent Association Supervisor Unit, and Resolution 1247, authorize the purchase through a state term contract from Motorola Solutions, Inc. of WatchGuard video body cameras in an amount not to exceed $505,655.02.
I move for approval. Second, and I'd just like to thank the sheriff for moving forward with it. Well, two things, both actually, have the approval of the bargaining units, but also to go forward with body cameras. I think that's great.
Thank you, Commissioners. I'd also like to thank our fiscal team, both in the Sheriff's Office and John, who I know is on the meeting. His team worked very hard to try to make sure we could carve out the appropriations to work this. So thank you, and thanks, Ward, for your review of the contracts.
Thanks to everyone.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, Treasurer's Office.
Under the Treasurer's Office, Commissioners, we have Resolution 1213, accept the investment report for May, June, and July of 2020.
I move for approval. I second.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
County Coroner.
Under the County Coroner, we have Resolution 1214, authorize the purchase through state term contract from Ohio Valley Audio Visual LLC of audio-visual equipment to upgrade the current system for streaming capability and video conferencing in an amount not to exceed $118,092.15 through December 30th, 2020.
I move for approval. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
County Administrator.
Under the Clerk's Office, we have approval of the meetings and the minutes of the meetings on September 15th, 2020. Resolution 1215, approval of bills. Resolution 1216, approval of travel and expenses. Both of those lists are available in the Clerk's Office.
I move for approval. I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Administrative Services.
Under Administrative Services, we have Resolution 1217, approval of personnel actions. That list is available in the Clerk's Office. Resolution 1218, authorizing a lease agreement with the Montgomery County Agricultural Society for the leasing of 8,375 square foot of office space located at the Calumet Building through December 31st, 2021. We have Resolution 1219, amend the agreement with App Architecture, project architect for the Rybold Building 5th floor project by increasing the original amount by $24,300 for a revised total of $233,800 due to a change in the scope of work. We have Resolution 1220, authorizing the purchase through state term contract from Motorola Solutions, Inc. for equipment to extend radio infrastructure to dispatch workstations due to COVID-19 for Regional Dispatch Center at a cost not to exceed $117,250. We have Resolution 1221, authorizing the purchase from Storm 7 Labs LLC for computer hardware and installation services for juvenile court in an amount not to exceed $224,473.10 through December 31st, 2020. We have 2 bids, select bids for Environmental Services Department for our solid waste team. Resolution 1222, purchase of old corrugated cardboard and mixed paper recycling services. And Resolution 1223, a service agreement for stationary compactor services.
I move for approval. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Environmental Services.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. We have 5 resolutions under Environmental Services. First is 1224, approve the plan, specifications, and estimated cost of $60,000 and solicit bids for the construction of wastewater facilities for the Brookville Lake Estate Sanitary Sewer Improvements Project Phase 2. Resolution 1225, submit an application to participate in the Ohio Water Development Authority, OWDA, local government agency loan program for a loan in the amount of $298,745 and authorize a cooperative agreement with OWDA for the implementation of the Bryden Road Water Main Replacement Project. The next 3 are to authorize agreements. First is 1226, authorize agreement with Brookville LLC to attempt to reduce I&I entering the sanitary sewer system and in order to effect a release of any and all claims which have been or which may be asserted by Brookville LLC. Resolution 1227, authorizing agreement with Wolper Inc. for consulting services for CityWorks Master Plan and AMS support in the amount not to exceed $37,000 through December 31st, 2020. And Resolution 1228, authorizing agreement with Kinnison Excavating Inc. for construction of the Bryden Road Water Main Replacement Project at their lowest and best bid of $445,980 through September 22, 2021.
Move for approval. I second.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
OMB.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Thank you. I have 5 resolutions for your consideration. Number 1229, authorize appropriation amendments. 1230, authorize additional appropriations. 1231, to authorize cash transfers. 1232, to authorize appropriation decreases. And 1233, to accept the amounts and rates as determined by the Budget Commission and authorize the necessary tax levies and certify them to the county auditor.
I move for approval. Second.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Human Services. Tom.
Shut my door.
Good afternoon. Under Human Services Planning and Development, Resolution 2012-34 will authorize CARES nonprofit grant agreements through the Office of CARES Act with various nonprofit organizations through December 30th of 2020. And under the Department of Job and Family Services, Resolution 2012-35 will authorize payments by warrant for the Department of Job and Family Services.
Move for approval.
That's all I have this afternoon.
I move for approval. I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, Business
Thank you.
Services.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. I have several resolutions. CARES Act, 2 from Economic Development, 1 late item. 2012-36 CARES Agriculture Grant Program, original 2011-21. 1237 CARES Daycare and Preschool Grant Program, original is 2011-20. 1238 CARES Education Grant Program, original 0936. 1239 CARES Healthcare Grant Program, original is 1119. And 1240 CARES Housing Grant Program, original 0934. 1241 CARES nonprofit grant program, original 0935. 1242 is CARES small grant business program, original 0754. These amend resolutions creating the CARES Act grant programs, extending the date through December 30th, 2020. And on community and economic development, 1243, authorizing an agreement with Development Projects, Inc. to provide funding for implementation of regional economic development program in an amount not to exceed $150,000 through December 31st, 2020. 1244, authorizing a delegation of activities agreement with Miami Valley Housing Opportunity for the restoration housing project in an amount not to exceed $170,000 home investment partner funds through December 31st, 2022. And a late item, 1248, amend the name of CARES Daycare and Preschool Grant Program to CARES Child Care and Preschool Grant Program.
I move for approval. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Under County Commissioners, 20-1245, reappoint Beth Welle to serve on the Sinclair Community College Board, Warren and Montgomery County Community College District, for a 5-year term ending September 13th, 2025.
I move for approval.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Comments by County Administrator.
Thank you, Commissioners. Well, we had a beautiful day this morning to roll out our new fully operational mobile workforce unit. And that is a beautiful RV. We're thankful to our partners at the state that helped us with rapid response dollars to do this and to bring career and job readiness services directly to our citizens in the neighborhood. I think this is just fantastic. And we're thankful to our Workforce Director, Marvine Mitchell-Cook, and Assistant Director, Garth McLean. They really delivered on bringing this home. This was part of the dollars that we received last year as part of the tornado disaster relief to bring services directly to our citizens. And we really made this vision a reality in this vehicle. This will also give us an opportunity to help more people in the community and for them to really access workforce services directly where they're at. And seeing this impact firsthand, seeing this vehicle with all of the technology that is in it was just really amazing. We all got a chance to go inside of this unit. It's really state of the art. And so Commissioners, what did you think about it today?
Well, I thought it was great. You know, we've talked about this unit for a while, and to actually see it this morning was really just great. We were at Omega CDC, and so that was nice to have some of our partners there. But while it looks great on the outside, it's amazing on the inside. You know, it's got all the technology. And I think Garth said it best this morning. He said, you know, it's a mobile job center, which is really what it is. And the bottom line is that we are doing this because we are committed as a county, the commissioners, you, Michael, and your team. We are committed to investing in people, and that's investing in our residents. So we want everybody in Montgomery County to have a fulfilling career. And this mobile unit ultimately will help people with that. You know, we know people can go to the job center, but we're a big county. We talked about this morning how big we are. You know, Carolyn lives in Centerville and I live in Clayton, and it takes me about 40 minutes to get to Centerville. So we're a very, very large county, and I think this is great that we will be able to go out into the communities throughout and assist people. So we will be bringing our services to neighborhoods, and especially those neighborhoods that have been historically underserved. You know, the ring around what we call the first tier suburbs around the city of Dayton. It'll be important that we get to all of those, and especially to those neighborhoods that were hit hard by the tornadoes. And of course now everyone's been hit by the COVID. So they're gonna be busy, put it that way. And the other thing it will do, people lack, a lot of people, because of the digital divide, they lack the access to the internet. And so we'll be bringing that to them. So congratulations to everybody. It's wonderful. Thanks.
And I would certainly chime in with everything that Commissioner Lieberman just made. And, you know, it really is going to be powerful that regardless of what people's individual access, that this will come to where they are, and it'll bring the technology to them. One less barrier that they'll have to getting the job that will help them and their families move on. And although the tornadoes were some of the original idea why we started with this, and Marvin got the vision for all of this, I think these past 2 years have actually, 2019 and 2020 have certainly shown us that you never know what's next. And now we'll be able to not only go throughout the county, but whatever comes up, we can truly bring people what they need in a very timely manner. So I'm very excited about this. And the next step will be to see when it's out in the community somewhere and just take a peek in and see people using it. That's when it's really rewarding to see people use it and find those jobs that they're seeking. So exciting day. Glad to be part of it.
Yep. Yes, it certainly was. And I know we're going to go public with the different locations that it's going to be. So if anybody is interested, that will be posted soon. And, you know, I think one thing, not only is it going to help people find jobs, but it's also going to help them perhaps update their resume or offer some training opportunities for different individuals. You know, I think that our whole community has been faced with challenges from the COVID. And because current public health guidance tells us to continue social distancing and staying at home when possible. But, you know, so many people are still unemployed or underemployed. And this is what we want to do. We want to help them realize their full potential. So again, I think I have to say that I think all of us are very excited about this is just going to be so great for our community because we are investing in people in our community. On another note, I have to say that I was really enjoyed being a part of the virtual grand opening for the new U.S. Smart Operations Center at the AES Corporation. And that's the parent company of Dayton Power and Light. You know, this project will host data analytics and energy management for the entire country. And it's going to be right here in Montgomery County. So that means more high-tech jobs right here in this region. So thank you, AES, for your investment in our community.
Well, and I have one more thing to mention. I also wanted to give kudos to Public Health Dayton and Montgomery County because they've been honored as an LGBTQ healthcare equality leader by the Human Rights Campaign Foundation. And they are the only Dayton-based healthcare organization and the only Ohio Health Department designated as an equality leader as part of the most recent healthcare equality. I'm getting all my words mixed up. Healthcare Equality Index. And I am just so proud of public health being recognized for, you know, we all know all the considerable efforts they have undergone to ensure that Montgomery County is a place where all our residents can thrive. So just hats off to our public health department. And if you're interested, you want to learn more about this LGBTQ health initiative by Public Health, go to their website at phdmc.org. So way to go, Public Health.
Okay, right. Before we end for the day, I believe that the commissioners, we wanted to take a few moments to acknowledge the passing of Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, who died Friday at the age of 87, and she was so influential to the lives of women in so many ways. So I think each of us wanted to address that. Carolyn, did you want to go first?
Yes, I think we all feel that she is one of our sheroes, one of those people that in my lifetime, I feel so privileged to have watched her at work, until she couldn't do it another moment. So I'll start off by just some of her background. Ruth Bader Ginsburg was born in 1933 in an era when the laws and customs treated women so differently than men. Ginsburg successfully challenged the laws that barred women from jobs and denied them rights, eventually setting us on a path to extend equal justice under a law, especially to women and LGBTQ Americans. Her life experiences exemplify the challenges that so many women faced. For example, after college, when she and her husband Marty relocated to Fort Sill, Oklahoma for his Army service, Ginsburg scored high on the civil service exam, but could only find work as a typist. When she got pregnant with their daughter Jane, she lost that job. 2 years later, the couple moved back east where Marty had been admitted to Harvard Law School. The next year, Ginsburg was one of 9 women in her law school class of more than 500 students, and a dean asked her why she was taking the place of a man. She excelled, though, becoming the first woman on the prestigious Harvard Law Review. When her husband underwent surgery and radiation treatments for testicular cancer, she cared for him and their daughter while managing her studies and helping Marty with his. Then, after transferring to Columbia Law School, because of her husband's job, she graduated at the top of her class. But sadly, I have to say, in 1959, law firms weren't hiring women, and judges didn't want women, especially mothers who might be distracted by their familial obligations. It almost hurts my ears to read this. And
Yeah.
as clerks. So finally, her mentor, law professor Gerald Gunther, got her a clerkship. Ginsburg then became one of America's first female law professors. She worked first at Rutgers University, where she hid her pregnancy with her second child, James, until her contract was renewed. And then at Columbia Law School, where she was the first woman the school tenured. Remarkable.
I
So
know.
I'll turn it over to Debbie to continue to tell us about this awesome woman.
Thank you, Carolyn. Yeah, her life, I think, for all Americans, what she had done throughout her career reflected, but for women and especially women that worked, she really led the way, even before she was on the Supreme Court. You know, I know for me, when I was in law school, she wasn't on the bench yet. But I knew of her because of all the incredible cases that she'd already won for women. And, being the only woman in her class, and now most law schools it's about 50-50 men and women. So for that, I think all female lawyers are very, very, inspired. I know she's been my inspiration, but I think for all women. So on with what we had written here, knowing that she had to appeal to male judges, Ginsburg often picked male plaintiffs to establish the principle of gender equality. And in 1971, she wrote the brief for Sally Reed in the case of Reed versus Reed. And when the Supreme Court decided that an Idaho law specifying that males must be preferred to females in appointing administrators of estates, it was found that it was unconstitutional. Justice Warren Burger, who had been appointed by Richard Nixon, wrote, "To give a mandatory preference to members of either sex over members of the other is to make the very kind of arbitrary legislative choice forbidden by the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment to the Constitution." In 1972, Ginsburg won the case of Moritz versus Commissioner. She argued that a law preventing a bachelor, Charles Moritz, from claiming a tax deduction for the care of his aged mother because the deduction could be claimed only by women or by widowed or divorced men was discriminatory. The United States Court of Appeals for the 10th Circuit agreed, citing Reed versus Reed, when it decided that discrimination on the basis of sex violated the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment to the Constitution. And between 1973 and 1976, she argued 6 gender discrimination cases before the Supreme Court. And of those 6, she won 5. So she's someone that will never be able to be replaced. And I think will live on, as her legacy will live on for all of us. Judy?
And yeah, and I'm going to talk a little bit about when she was on the Supreme Court. She was nominated to the bench by President Bill Clinton in 1993. She was confirmed by a vote of 96-3. In her 27 years on the Supreme Court, Ginsburg championed equal rights, both from the majority. Wait a minute. Okay, from the majority, and I think I've gotten things confused. Okay, majority in dissent, which she would mark by wearing a sequined collar. Now, we're all familiar with that collar, including her angry dissent in 2006 in Ledbetter versus Goodyear, Tire and Rubber, when the plaintiff, Lilly Ledbetter, was denied decades of missing wages because the statute of limitations had already passed when she discovered she had been paid far less than the men with whom she worked. The court does not comprehend or is indifferent to the insidious way in which women can be victims of pay discrimination, Ginsburg wrote. Congress went on to change the law, and the first bill President Barack Obama signed was, and I remember this, the Lilly Ledbetter Fair Pay Act. I remember that, that's for sure. You know, you read this stuff and you think, you know, my daughter and grandchildren won't even remember these times that I went through growing up. More recently, in 2013, Ginsburg famously dissented from the majority in Shelby County versus Holder, the case that gutted the 1965 Voting Rights Act. The majority decided to remove the provision of the law that required states with histories of voter suppression to get federal approval before changing election laws, arguing that such preclearance was no longer necessary. Ginsburg wrote, throwing out preclearance when it has worked and is continuing to work to stop discriminatory changes is like throwing away your umbrella in a rainstorm because you are not getting wet. And as she predicted, after the decision, many states immediately began to restrict voting. Perhaps one of the most famous quotes is her advice to fight for the things you care about, but do it in a way that will lead others to join you. When asked how she wanted to be remembered, she said, just as someone who did whatever she could with whatever limited talent she had to move society along in the direction I would like it to be for my children and grandchildren. I'm sorry. I was always so impressed with her. So again, our thoughts and prayers are with her family through, this is just a sad, sad time. So if you don't have anything else, I am going to say that our next meeting is, I can't believe this, September 29th at 1:30 right here.
I'm sorry.
Motion to dismiss, to adjourn.
Yes.
Did she say second?
I think she did, but she's
I
on.
did. I was muted because you were making me cry too.
I know it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I've read this 100 times and it's still very emotional. It's just an emotional time for all of us. So I apologize. Okay. All those in favor?
Aye. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.